One dark and mysterious day, the world went dark. The sun was blocked from the 2 million tons of water bottles in our landfills. Now, why is this relevant to you? Well, if you keep buying water bottles, it will cost you more money in the long run, and it will also make the environment an uglier place. My goal is to persuade you to use reusable water bottles filled with tap water instead of disposable plastic water bottles. Now, the websites I used are Food Water Watch, The Water Project, The Real Cost of Bottled Water, and Meyer.com. All these sites are considered credible by professionals, and they have information that can be found on many other credible sites as well. Fun fact, in 2009, 8.45 billion gallons of bottled water were bought by consumers. That's about $10.6 billion. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have $10.6 billion laying around. Now, of course, none of us actually spend $10.6 billion. But to put it in perspective for you, a bottle of water, like you see here, costs about $1.59 at Meyer. And a reusable water bottle costs about $19.95, give or take. You might say, oh, well, the disposable water bottle is way cheaper than the reusable one. Well, yes, in short term it is. But in long term, if you want more disposable waters, you have to keep buying it for $1.59. But to reuse the reusable water bottles, all you got to do is flick on a sink and fill it with tap water. It's basically free. So in the long run, it is better to buy reusable drinks or reusable water bottles. And if you leave cost completely out of it and just look at the environmental impact, it is still better to use reusable water bottles. And why, you may ask? Well, because, like I said before, 2 million tons of water bottles are in our landfills. That means there's 80% of water bottles that are considered litter. You might go, oh, but we're going green. We're recycling these things every day, all day. Well, that's not exactly the case. Only about 1 in 5 water bottles go into the recycling bin. And in fact, we have a recycling bin at Indiana State. So if you do decide to use a plastic water bottle, please put it in a recycling bin because Indiana State does collect these. Back to why reusable are better than bottled waters. Bottled waters also stay with us a long time. You may go, oh, just toss this in the garbage can, forget about it. It's out of my sight. Well, in fact, it takes 1,000 years for a water bottle to biodegrade. That's ridiculous. A water bottle is going to live longer than us. I don't even think they didn't have water bottles 1,000 years ago, so we don't know the impact all these water bottles will have on our children and future generations. So that is another thing to think about. Along with the environment impact, there is also, I guess it's still environment impact, a fossil fuel impact. It takes about 32 and 55 million barrels of oil to transport and to produce water bottles. That will fuel 1.5 million cars for a complete year. That's insane. Also, 3 liters of water make about 1 liter of water bottles. That's just crazy to think about that statistic. There are also safety violations that we have to worry about when going to buy a water bottle compared to just using the tap water. With a reusable water bottle filled with tap water, the tap water is subject to more federal, state, and local Environment Agency testing. This means that your water, or the tap water, is continuously tested and checked for all sorts of different things. And all that testing has to be put onto a public record, or it has to be visible for the public to view. That means that they want their water to be as clean as possible. In 2008, 10 brands of water bottles were tested, and it came back that they contained 38 contaminants. People were drinking this, and they're still drinking it, but it contained 38 contaminants. They claimed to be purified, they claimed to be clean. But do we really know what we're drinking when we drink out of a plastic disposable water bottle? Guess that's just a choice we all have to make. So, reusable water bottles are better for the environment. They are safer to drink. They take up less fossil fuel. And they also save us quite a bit of money. So, in my opinion, it is better to use a reusable water bottle filled with tap water than to buy a bottled water and just let it rot, not even rot, let it sit in our landfills to block the sun. In the long run, we want the future generations to be able to see a beautiful world. We don't want them to go, oh, the older generations just made the world ugly. We want them to have a better world than us, not a worse one. So that's why it's important to use reusable water bottles instead of these little plastic ones here. Thank you for listening.